Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Customer Support Mastery with Speak and Span. My name is Anne. I'm the Customer Support Manager at Speak and Span Home and Office Cleaning, where I work closely with customer support and customer experience every day. I'm really excited to be joined by Monica, who has worked in customer support and has now moved on to a different chapter. Thank you so much for joining us and for
Thank you.
being part of this first episode. So, before we jump into customer support, could you please let us know a little bit about yourself and what you're currently doing?
I have been a translator for the last 12 years. I translate financial translations. I've worked with many companies until now in translation and in data analysis. It's what I've been doing since I've worked in customer services.
Okay, and how was your experience working in customer support?
It was great fun. I enjoyed it a lot. It was this this new world of people and issues and problems that I had to fix and help that I had to provide to people that were like in need of a solution for their problems. And it taught me a lot through the years.
Amazing. And why did you leave customer support?
I went to college after leaving customer support. Actually, I left my work in customer support because I enrolled in college, and after that, I worked in the another fields more uh, likely to be similar to my career that I have today.
Amazing. What was one of the most challenging parts of working with customers?
Well, it was that people are different between each other, and one solution does not cover all. So we have to be very, um, quick and on our responses and think outside of many boxes, not only one box, because the same solution it may not be applied to people. So yeah, it's the adaptation to the problem at hand that we actually can and will learn to the future, and that becomes easier with time, but it's not easy per se, even if you have years of that.
I do have a quite tricky question. Taking things personally when solving an issue, depending on the situation, there are, of course, different sides. It also depends on the kind of company and the service as well. Sometimes customers do expect that something will be done in a certain way, and sometimes it's really not possible. It really depends on the situation itself. But when we get into the part of taking care of the complaint from the customer, there are cases where some customer support agents actually take things personally. So, my question here would be, when you were working as a customer support agent, did you take things personally, or did you know anyone who did, and how this affects the overall resolution of an issue?
Telling you the truth, well, I took things personally when after I hang up the phone. you know, because when you are at the phone with the customer, you cannot. Yeah, it's easier said than done, of course, but we have to, and this takes years to like be good at this, like don't let our own feelings, personal opinions, point of views, bias, interfere with the work. But yeah, because we are, and people forget this a lot. clients forget this. We are also people behind those phones, you know, and everyone has feelings. Of course, that in a professional environment, we have to narrow down those feelings, of course. But yeah, in my case, I I had one case like that, a very hard case to deal with, but me while I talked to my was talking to my client, I remained like the same. But after it was very frustrating for me, of course. Yes, but during the time that I have to like be calm, you know, switch off like the emotions. And if you focus on the problem mm, and only in the problem, you are not focused on your own emotions. Even if the client tells you something that you don't want to hear, you have really to put that aside and focus on the solution, because the fastest you have a solution, the fastest the client is happy again. And the solution is key. So,
Very quick question, still on this topic. So,
okay.
as you said, the solution is key.
Yeah.
But what if we don't have a solution for the actual issue? How would you
Okay.
work around this?
Well, when I talk about the solution, it's not uh, just for the issue. The solution can be calming down the client, because sometimes they can call you very angry, and the solution comes through calming down and being empathic with the person that is talking to you. If it was you, how would you feel about it? Would I be raging like that? Would I be calm? So there are many issues that we cannot solve, because, well, it depends on case to case, but we cannot solve as the client wants. We can solve it, their solution for everything, but is not the way the client wants us to, you know. So that can be a problem, but I think that reassuring the client that we are doing everything that we can, reassuring that yes, we are not fixing the way they want us to, but we are fixing it anyway, you know, giving it an alternative solution for that. It's the compromise that you do with your work and the company, that you put everything you have on that solution. Like, I'm going to sort this out, trust me, we are going to pull this through. Yeah.
Amazing. Yes, to be honest, within the cleaning services area, sometimes it is quite difficult because although a customer books for a service, let's say a deep cleaning, of course, inside the deep cleaning, there are many things we need to take into account. Not going much into detail, but of course, the duration, the condition of the property, everything counts to the final result. I think that it is on our side. We need to explain exactly what is possible within these criterias, within what the customer selected to be done, with all of these things. And even though we may not have a solution for that issue, we can try to, I wouldn't say educate, but of course, the customer is booking for something, and we need to clarify the expectations within this, because it's not always possible. So, at least from my side, one of the most difficult, one of the biggest challenges is really on how to explain this to a customer. And I think this really goes into putting ourselves into the customer's shoes. Maybe I did not communicate in the right way. We need to be careful with how we communicate this, what wording is used, how we control our emotion as well. And going back to the question, um, not taking things personally, because it's just somebody looking for a solution for a given um, complaint, let's say, for something that did not go as expected. So yes, at least from my side, I think that this may be one of the biggest challenges of customer support because we don't always have a solution for a given issue. And is there anything that you learned that you still use today in your current position?
Yeah, customer service taught me a lot. Actually, dealing with people, I was accustomed to deal with certain types of people, and everyone I knew was like in these boxes in my head, you know. And when I worked with in customer service, I actually knew a whole world of people that I didn't knew nothing about, you know. Strangers and strangers' way to think, to solve problems, to communicate. I was not used to it. So the empathy that I had to provide to a large scale of different personalities taught me a lot to deal with people throughout my life. You know, throughout, nothing was strange to me because while I worked in customer service, I actually was, well, present in the knowing of a lot of different people, and the part of the problems also fixing problems and quick. And that was one thing that remained with me for these years. Is I know that if I didn't spend those years in customer service, maybe I wouldn't have this urgency in resolving things and the best way that I can, you know. So yeah, and you know, I was and actually the fun, the teamwork. It was the first time I worked in a team, working with people very different from me, and that also taught me to be friends with people that I had nothing to do, you know, and but yeah, it was great. I enjoyed it a lot, my years in customer service.
And just a quick question since you spoke about the timing.
Yeah.
How did you deal when a customer wants a solution right away? Because that is actually one of the most often issues that we have in customer support.
Yeah, I after a while working on customer service, I came to realize that the answer for your question is to know, to know the job, but to know it inside out. Like to know what you have to say in this situation, what rewards can you give to the client, what solutions can you give to the client, what can you do, who can you call, who can you ask about this type of issue, people that you can rely on when things are like very serious, and and you have to be quick about it, and it's know the job is really know in my case I had to know the software and hardware of the company I was like inside out. So nothing that the client told me was strange to me, and the troubleshooting was very easy most of the time because, I worked on it, I study it, I embody it. You have to really know the work, really know the job. And yeah, people skills. You have to have a very strong set of people skills in customer service.
Exactly. And since you also spoke about these skills, that's something that does not come naturally. I think,
Yeah, of
my
course.
opinion, I think it grows as you start and keep working on it.
Yes.
And for this, what would be your advice for who wants to start customer support?
power through. It's like, hold on, learn your job, learn what you have to do. Yeah, the first few calls will be very awkward. Um, there will be a first time for everything, like a first your first when you give a solution for the first time and everything goes well, is a dopamine rush, is great, you know. And yeah, power through. It will you will get used to it. You eventually you will like it.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's like, don't be scared at first because it's daunting. At first, it's very daunting. It's like strangers talking to us, and we don't know we are learning still, and people are asking us for difficult things, and just don't give up because it's really cool after what you are doing, and that feeling of helping others is great.
It's amazing. And one of the points that you raised on one of the previous questions, team. I think
Yeah,
that
the team.
here has a big, big part of not giving up.
Yes.
And continuing learning, helping each other, because sometimes we cannot solve things alone. Sometimes, with all of this issue, when we are trying to solve something, we see more issues where they don't even exist.
Yeah.
With the amount of things that are going within this complaint, and obviously it depends on the area and the kind of business itself, but sometimes you're dealing with more than one complaint at the same time, and it is
Yes.
quite difficult. So yeah, I would say not giving up, and also reaching out to who also works inside the same team, which is great, having different opinions, perspectives, and sometimes it may even help solve the case itself. And Monica, now that you've moved on, how do you see
Yes.
this role differently?
Oh, I don't actually. I think the same thing that I thought when I worked there. I enjoyed it while I was working in customer service, and I still like it. I still think that is a very challenging job. And, but me personally, I love challenges. So, sometimes I miss it, being like on the edge of, you know, like fixing something. But yeah, it's not different for me.
Good. Okay, and the last question. Would you ever go
Okay.
back to customer support?
Oh, totally. Of course. Why not? Yeah, totally. Yeah, and if I had a great team, even better, yes, of course I would. Yeah, I'm not thinking about that right now, but yeah, if I had the opportunity one day to go, maybe, yeah, why not? I haven't thought of that. That's actually, yeah, I would, yeah.
That's good. That's amazing, actually. Monica, do you have any questions? Anything you would like to add?
Well, I have to add a comment. Um, Many people look at customer service as an impossible gig, as an impossible job, because people often don't like to deal with another people. And customer service is a kind of job that is bashed. People are always talking badly about customer services, uh, the clients, people working there, and if someone is listening to this podcast, and I'm sure they will, and they don't like customer care or customer services, give it a shot. Go work for one. It will change your mind. And for the clients, please bear with us. We are trying our best, you know, and it's our job to fix the problems, but we are human in the end. So it's the message I want to to be here for people that are listening to it. This is to be trying to be patient, remember how to be human, and everything will go well for both parts.
Exactly. In the end, it's just a challenge and a great one, which is ongoing.
Yeah, it is. And good luck for you in your endeavor in customer care.
Thank you, and the same for you for anything else
Thank
you
you.
will do moving forward.
Of
Who
course.
knows
Thank
if you
you.
will not be back to customer support.
One day, maybe.
Monica, thank you so much for joining me today and once again for being part of this very first episode. I really enjoyed this conversation and hearing about your experience. And as I said, who knows if you will not be back to customer support. Yeah, and thank you so much. And thank you
Thank you.
everyone for listening to this and see you in the next episode. Thank you so much, Monica.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you.